But in other news, let's get the latest from the tech world. Toby Shapshak is, here joining us to update us. Toby, good to have you, as always. Surgeons are seemingly using Microsoft's HoloLens, augmented reality headsets, sophisticated operations. I understand where they use AR to see what to do in a surgery.
Yes, indeed. So this is a massive breakthrough. I've been tracking this story for years now. It's an unbelievable use of technology. The HoloLens, I'm sure you can see there should be images. It's a device that sits, it's like a really big set of goggles that goes around your head. It's an entire computer. And what it does is you look through the lenses and you see reality, but it overlays a blueprint, an augmented reality, AR on top of it. Now, if you are playing a game, it's really fantastic. It recognizes your hands. You can move with your hands. You can point. You can scroll. You can do all sorts of things without wearing gloves, that is. It recognizes your voice. And I've seen amazing applications, people putting together very complex machinery or fixing very complex machinery. I tried myself. It shows you what the parts are, how to move, where. It's kind of like having the blueprint, the manual, kind of superimposed over the machine you're fixing. Now, what happens if the machine you're fixing is the human body? And this is an absolutely extraordinary use of this technology. Surgeons are using it because they need help or they need to see what they're doing and what they're doing. Now, remember, surgeons open a very small incision in the body and then they have to go in. They don't really know where things are and how they look. I don't want to downplay their expertise, but they are able to use this HoloLens, as the images should be showing, of you can see the bones, you can see the veins. It's really fantastic. And what Microsoft's been doing with it, the product's actually called the HoloLens 2. What Microsoft's been doing with it is helping some surgeons train other surgeons around the world. So surgeons can learn new techniques, they can participate, they can see. Eventually, the professor from the University of Cape Town and who also works at Kruger was telling me that you will also be able to ultimately perhaps do telemedicine. You'll be able to control a device. But this is still early days, and this is just remarkable. I mean, you can see from the footage, right, there is the human body. You can see the bones. You can see where the organs are and the veins. And it's just a fantastic use of technology for real users. Microsoft have another product called Connect, which used to be the little bar with sensors that could see how you moved, a bit like Wii. Nintendo Wii, and they've been using that in hospitals as well. They put it in patients' rooms. If patients do things strangely or fall out of bed, the artificial intelligence in Microsoft's cloud called Azure will pick up changes in behavior. Really, really sophisticated use of technology, very cutting-edge technology, I think, for very useful, meaningful reasons. Really great.
That's really innovative. Toby, I'm fascinated just looking at the screen right now at how innovation is really shaping, the medical industry. But I have to move to this now. I understand that you also kind of tested the Apple's new M1 chip. I mean, how good is it?
It is good. So here it is. I bought it yesterday. I am extremely impressed with it. Really, really slick. Starts up instantly. Now, remember, this is the processor that Apple makes itself. It's the same, or it's based on the same architecture that they use in the iPhone, which I'm using right now, and an iPad. They've got 10 years, 15 years of experience. 10 years at least of experience building their own chips, a little bit longer, and now they're building them into the computers. And I have to say, it is really fantastic. I mean, I was just thinking actually that we're seeing such cutting-edge innovation from two of the original computer companies. They are the reason we have the internet and PCs and all of this. And in fact, they're my two favorite companies because they don't data mine my data. I pay them for a service. They give me a service, and they hoard my data as with much concern for privacy as I do. So this process, this this laptop very fast. The thing that I'm most impressed with is the battery life. I used it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours last night, and I think I used 20% of the battery. And I'm a pretty heavy user. So that's really the good news. And we're starting to see, and why this is significant is because no sooner had Apple announced that they were going to start making their own chips and putting it in their own computer than Intel announced it may outsource the production of its own chips. So we're seeing a real changing of the era. It's a whole nother story, but Intel may not be around, or may not be around in the way we know for long. But in the meantime, really great technology from the two original computer makers, software makers, the companies that gave us, firstly, the personal computer revolution, and that enabled the internet revolution. So to Microsoft and Apple.
Thank you so much, Toby, for also keeping us up to speed with that. I just want to say before I close with you, you know my mailbox, right? You know what to do after this conversation. Thanks, Toby. Thank you.